I'm not going back to Haiti.
One of those threats is this illegal alien from Haiti. ICE says he's a gang member with 17 criminal convictions in recent years.
Trump, you feel me? Yo, Biden forever, bro. Thank Obama for everything that he did for me, bro.
First, Tom, when you see that video, I'm curious, what do you think?
Well, he's wrong. He's going back to Haiti. I can tell him that. And look, I've said it on this network for 4 years. Joe Biden, opened these borders on purpose. It wasn't a mismanagement. It wasn't incompetence. He knew exactly what he was doing. He made the promises while he was running for president, and he kept those promises. At least you got to give him credit for that. But yeah, they've opened this border up, and President Trump's going to secure the border, the highest level ever. You thought we had a secure border before? Watch what happens now. It'll be the tightest border in the history of this nation, and ICE officers are finally getting the handcuffs taken off them, and they're going to put them on the bad guys throughout the country.
Yeah, sorry, dude. Let us know what the weather's like in Haiti. Maybe you can send us a postcard because that's exactly where you're going. Maybe you can hang out with all those celebrities that told us how awesome Haiti is. You guys remember that? And their idiot T-shirts that they wore only once, of course, for a photo op. That's what celebrities do. They all said, Haiti is great already. That included Bill Maher, by the way, who's desperately trying to rebrand himself in the age of MAGA. Maybe they can all hang out together in the already great Haiti. You remember what Rush used to say, gang? We are having more fun than a human being is allowed to have. And that sums up better than anything else this incredible and historic week. Hey, gang, we look out for each other here on this channel, and your health is our number one priority. So if you're one of the 100 million Americans struggling with all the weight gain and loss of energy that comes with a fatty liver, you've got to try Liver Health Formula. It's an all-natural supplement. It contains 12 clinically proven botanicals that help recharge and protect your liver. It's manufactured right here in the USA, and it's approved by independent American doctors. And if you click on that link below right now, you can try Liver Health Formula and receive a free bottle of blood sugar formula when you order today. So don't let a fatty liver keep you sluggish and inactive. Click on that link below right now or go to getliverhelp.com/Turley and claim your free bonus gift. That's getliverhelp.com/Turley. So much has happened this week. Again, just think about it. Where were we 1 week ago today? Think about it. Bumbling Biden was president, or at least formally, the shell of a man was there. A shadow government was running our nation. The southern border was wide open. Economic stagnation engulfed the country. DEI was the law of the land. J6 political prisoners were behind bars. The demons in Davos were running the world. The international order was unraveling. And perhaps the cringiest part of it all, Kamala Harris was vice president. And today, 1 week later, that entire world, that whole woke world has literally imploded. It's you know what, I was thinking about it this morning. It's almost Genesis-like. It's almost, I'm not saying Trump is God, no. But, I mean, think about it. Trump basically remade the world in a week. I mean, so much has happened. I mean, think about it. So much has happened in just the last 24 hours. So on the eve of the National March for Life rally in D.C. last night, Trump pardoned 23 pro-life activists who have been sitting and rotting in prison simply because they protested in front of an abortion clinic. That was their only crime. They were protesting in front of an abortion clinic. I thought it's called the First Amendment. They were convicted and imprisoned for violating this absurd act known as the Freedom of Access to Clinic Entrances Act under the Biden administration. You want to know how wicked these guys are? These pro-life activists were charged with obstructing access to abortion clinics with sentences ranging, I kid you not, from 2 to 5 years. Like this wonderful woman. This is Bevelyn Williams. She's a mom. She's a wife. She was imprisoned for months by the Biden administration for simply praying in the wrong place in front of an abortion clinic. She was imprisoned for praying. Let that F thing hit you. These were textbook political prisoners. This is what dictatorial regimes do. They get rid of their political critics. They put them in gulags. All Beverly did, her only crime was to pray in the wrong place. The wrong place as defined by left-wing lunatics. And we should note, did our legacy media care? Did our legacy media come to her defense? Did wacko, nutty female bishops at the National Cathedral speak truth to power on her behalf? No, quite the opposite. They all celebrated her imprisonment. They were cheerleaders for it. Well, thank God those days are over. Dad's home, as Tucker would say. And of course, as a result, as you could see, Mom is home. They have all been released on the eve of the National March for Life rally in Washington, D.C. In fact, it gets even better. J.D. Vance is out today with the marchers at the March for Life rally. I mean, it doesn't get better than this, gang. Look at him. He is just so cool. And finally, a bearded fellow gets to become a vice president. I love it. Now, this, of course, comes on the heels of Trump pardoning every single one of the J6 prisoners who've been languishing in prison for the last 4 years, again, as political prisoners. And, of course, the legacy media, they're going through a complete and total meltdown. After all, again, remember, the media celebrated this. They cherished, they relished these imprisonments. What did Elon Musk say to Don Lemon? You want censorship. You want censorship so much you can taste it. They wanted these people rotting in prison so much they could savor it. They deliberately amplified and magnified the J6 Kangaroo Committee. They didn't keep in mind, none of the legacy media outlets, in fairness, for the exception of Fox, Newsmax, but none of the CNN, MSNBC, ABC, NBC, CBS, New York Times, Washington Post, NPR, they did not report on the J6 Kangaroo Committee. They staged it. They actively staged it. The Kangaroo Committee hired a former ABC News executive to help them stage and choreograph and promote the committee's hearings. This is why the legacy media remains so resolutely upset that you did not buy their kabuki theater. They worked so hard on their propagandistic production, and you turned around and you ignored it. How dare you? Think of your Greta. How dare you? How dare you? The legacy media put in so much time and effort at scripting and choreographing that whole spectacle that was supposed to once and for all bury Donald J. Trump, airing it live on prime time, only to have the vast majority of the country reject it. That's one of the myriad of reasons why they hate you. You know that, right? The legacy media hates you. They don't just think you're wrong. They don't just think you're misguided. They don't just disagree with you. They want you rotting in prison so they never have to look at you again. The legacy media hates you precisely because you don't buy their bull they peddle each and every single day. And now, to add insult to the injury of their bitterness towards you, all the J6ers are now officially free. Trump, of course, also signed an executive order declassifying all files, every single one related to the assassinations of John F. Kennedy, Robert F. Kennedy, and Martin Luther King Jr. It was beautiful. I don't know if you saw it. He signed the executive order and he capped the marker and he said, give this to Bobby Kennedy Jr. The action, of course, will reveal for all to see previously classified documents that were supposed to be declassified by order of Congress a number of years back, but thus far the CIA has been stonewalling that. That most especially under the guise of Mike Pompeo. Originally, Trump wanted these files to be declassified in his first term. Mike Pompeo squandered that. He squelched that. He turns out to be just another snake. The CIA as a whole has been obstructing that, refusing to release that. Those days are over. You know, I probably share the same opinion the vast majority of you have. Roger Stone has long made the argument that this was, particularly the Kennedy assassination, the CIA op. I think our deep state took him out, which aligns with why that very same deep state is so adamant against releasing the files. We'll, of course, see in due time. But in the ongoing work at the southern border, that has been the highlight of this week. Did you see this? This is neat. So the ICE X account, so the Immigration Customs Enforcement's X account, or Twitter account, whatever you still use the term, they're putting up a daily deportation tracker. It's glorious. They're now doing daily deportation updates. I kid you not. I love that. Every day they are detailing how many arrests of illegal immigrants or suspected illegal immigrants have been made, how many have been detained, how many are being sent home to the south, as it were. And take a look at this. This will blow your mind. There's another mass caravan headed for the southern border, but it's headed in the opposite direction. Look at that. These are scenes, bumper to bumper traffic heading south into Mexico. Look at that backup. It's crazy. Roads heading to Mexico are now bumper to bumper, reportedly for miles, as more and more illegal migrants have decided to self-deport before they get caught, which makes sense. That's a good call, because the key here is that if you get arrested and deported from the country, you're never coming back. Just there's no period, full stop. You're never coming back. You can apply to return to the country, but the moment you're discovered to have been arrested, detained, and then deported, your application is dead in the water. So the best option, the most humane option that more and more illegals are realizing is to self-deport without getting arrested and then apply for readmission, as it were, and you'll have an infinitely better chance of being able to come back into the country, this time legally, of course, than if you were arrested and then deported. So that calculus is translating into massive lines at the southern border headed in the direction of Mexico. The mass caravans are now going in the opposite direction of where they were headed over these last 4 years. In fact, Fox News is reporting that the Mexican government is scrambling to build the tons of tents and massive encampments that they're needing to temporarily house the staggering number of migrants expected to cross the border. Again, keep in mind, they're not all from Mexico, right? Obviously, they're from Guatemala, Honduras, Venezuela, all over Latin America. And again, God bless them. I don't wish them any harm. I mean, you know, I was a dad with children. I'd probably do the same thing. But the fact that over the last 4 years, we've had an open border, that has actually encouraged people to do it. Maybe I wasn't thinking about it, and suddenly now I am, especially with all the benefits that are waiting for me and the way I'll be treated as a hero if I cry. I've always said I could never even begin to comprehend how if I showed up at JFK without a passport, I'm immediately sent back from my nation of origin. But if I show up to the Mexican border without a passport, I'm treated as a hero. It's always been the strangest thing to me. We saw it even during the COVID insanity. You know, if you didn't have your right vaccines and so forth, you were immediately sent away from JFK. But show up at the southern border. We don't even know who you are, where you came from, what. Come on in. What took you so long? And so Anyway, with this process now reversing itself and so many people voluntarily self-deporting, the Mexican government is literally scrambling to have the number of tents needed to temporarily house the illegal migrants fleeing the United States before they get arrested in this mass deportation operation. Speaking of, look at how the state of Mississippi is getting in on this deportation action.
Would allow certified bounty hunters to assist in identifying and reporting undocumented immigrants was introduced in the Mississippi House of Representatives. The bill, proposed by the DeSoto County District Attorney and authored by State Rep. Justin Keene, would create the Mississippi Illegal Alien Certified Bounty Hunter Program. This program would offer a $1,000 reward to registered bounty hunters for each successful deportation they help facilitate.
I'm sorry, I just had in my head, but maybe we're going to have another cable show or something, right? Like Dog the Bounty Hunter, but now this time for deportation. I mean, the entire nation is galvanizing around border security. Remember, border security involves a two-prong approach. We talked about this. Kick them out and keep them out. That's probably what you could call the whole operation, kick them out and keep them out. So there's a mass deportation operation all across the country, the biggest one in American history, that is effectively kicking them out, right? It's deporting illegal aliens. And then, of course, what we're seeing at the same time is stopping the bleeding, as it were, operation. We're seeing the amassing of what will eventually be, we're told, 10,000 troops at the southern border, Army personnel and Marines, to put an end, finally and decisively, the illegal border crossing. So they're getting kicked out and they're getting kept out. And that is the new normal in our nation.